Good evening, one and all. How are you all doing today? Namaskar, namaskaram, vanakkam, hegidira, kaise ho aap? Please confirm whether the audio and video is clear. Good evening, Anjali. Good evening, MJ King. Good evening, Jayant, Arshi, Rashid, Mantasha, Knowledge Seeker, Ram Kishore Roy, Sena, Chaitra, Madhu Meghana, Kanika Jha, Jayant Kumar Pillai, Anjali, Pooja Bharadwaj, Chetan Ingali, Akanksha, too many people now, Shweta, Durgeshwari. All right, people. So without any further delay, we will get right into our discussion. So basically, again, the notes of this PDF, you can access it from the link in the description given below, as well as you can also access them from my Telegram channel. There also you will get, just in case you are finding any difficulty in accessing the notes, you may visit over here and access the same. Now let us look at the topics from the week. Inflation, adolescent love, health, cybercrime, with a focus on Delhi, GM maize, that is the genetically modified crop, research, agriculture, removal of judge, regulating social media, India's nuclear power, beetle fungal alliance, one-liners, public administration. So unlike the last time, I straight away started the entire discussion from the important topics first. Towards the last end, we will discuss the data-related topics as well as public administration. Alright, even then, most of these topics here, we have validated it, or I have validated it, or the arguments have been set forth, the narrative is set forth based on data again. So let us get right into it, starting with inflation. So what is inflation? When you say inflation, it basically means a persistent increase. A persistent increase in prices. That is, constantly the prices are going on increasing. So that is what you call as inflation. Now ideally, is inflation a bad thing? Not necessarily. It depends again. What is the reason for inflation and how much levels you have it? Now normally, to quote a previous year question of UPSC prelims, along with growth, economy, what will be there? Along with growth in economy, you will also have deflation, disinflation, inflation, stagflation. Can you try answering this now? Not necessarily. Percentage is a way of expressing persistent increase in the level of prices. That is what proper definition says. Percentage wise, we represent it so that we can calculate it. That is the point here. Price more, reduce. Deflation. Inflation, CCC. Some have said A, deflation. Alright, most of you have answered it C, and that is the correct answer. What do you mean by deflation? Deflation actually means a reduction in the prices. When you say disinflation, it actually means a reduction in inflation. And inflation, we know it is a persistent increase in prices. That begs the next question. What do you mean by stagflation? Stagflation is a very dangerous condition in the economy, whereby which you have a case of high inflation and high levels of unemployment. That is what it means. You have high inflation and high levels of unemployment. Now, what is the point here? The point here is this is a dangerous condition. Why I told you it is dangerous? Because basically when you are having high unemployment, that simply means growth in the economy is not happening. Because if growth was there, if growth was really there, what will happen? Employment will increase. And when employment increases, people will be having what? They'll be having more money in their hands. More money means that can easily lead to what? Demand pull inflation. What is demand pull inflation? Demand pull inflation means there is a high demand in the economy, as a result of which prices are increasing. So today evening I saw, just for let us say 16 grams of gold, you must shell out 1,60,000 rupees. That is where things are standing today. Getting the point here? Why? Why this is the case? Because a huge demand is there for gold. Obviously, it is seen as an investment option, but at the same time, many people, it basically leads to what? For many people, what is it? Dowry. A social evil. But whatever it is, whether it is for dowry or whether it is for investment, demand is very high, so the prices will keep on climbing. Got the point here? Coming to inflation. So what is this news about inflation? So first we must understand how is inflation measured in India. It is measured by the index called CPI, Consumer Price Index. Consumer Price Index, as the word clearly says, consumer price. That means the price paid by a consumer at a consumer's level. What is the price paid? That is how it is calculated. Now, what is the problem here? Two problems. First problem is, CPI actually contains a basket of goods. When I say basket of goods, means it has food, it has education, it has health, it has consumer durables, all this. But here basically, Sardar, just because RBI stops buying, gold prices will not crash. And even when you think about crashing, it is only going to come by a small, peanuts. Getting the point here. Can you just confirm the audio? Yeah, services, because this contains services, basket of goods and services. Education, health, etc. services. All right. So food, education, health, consumer durables. So the first issue here is the weightage issue. What do you mean by weightage? Weightage simply means which is given more importance. When I am calculating inflation, what do I give more importance to? And we are actually giving more importance to food, the food prices. It is, whereas the other indicators, if you actually see, education, health, consumer durables, they are given lesser importance. Based on food prices alone, food price is the largest driver of consumer price index. In simple words, if food prices decrease, what will happen to CPI? If food price goes down, CPI goes down. Correct? And obviously what will happen? Inflation. By that same logic, we can say that yes, inflation decreased. Yay, wonderful news. Everybody will be happy. What is the reality? Is it that inflation is really low in the economy? We all know one concept here, that is Education in India is not cheap. And so is the case with health. So is the case with housing, rent. These things are not at all cheap in our country. So, CPI, the first issue when I said about weightage, what is the issue now? Please confirm whether the audio is clear, people. Since morning there was no issue. Now suddenly I don't know. Please confirm the audio again. Correct, Deepshika. Agreed with that. All right. So basically, it does not reflect what is really happening in the economy. That is the first and foremost issue here. This pretty much you would have understood, because food is not so, food, not everybody spends majority of their salary on food. Correct. Nobody spends majority of their salary on food. It is the other things that really costs. So CPI is not reflecting the true price rise in the economy. That is the first issue. Another thing which you are constantly going to see in your current affairs will be what is called as the base effect. Base effect. Now what is base effect? I'll tell you a simple example here. Let us say there is Sharma ji ka beta. Sharma ji ka beta. Or beti, whichever. Scores 100 marks, 100 out of 100 in a subject. Let us say maths. In the first exam. In the next exam, scores 90. All right. What has happened to her performance? In terms of percentage, I can say the performance has declined by minus 10 percentage, correct? By minus 10 percentage, it has come down. Clear? Now, let us take somebody else. Let us take it as us, you or me. In the first exam, scored 30. In the next exam, scored 60. What is the improvement in performance here? What is the improvement in performance here? Hundred percentage. Because this is your initial value, right? 30 has doubled. Doubling means simply means performance has increased by 100 percentage. Correct? By 100 percentage, it has gone up. So the idea is very simple here. So going by it, we can easily say, hello, Papa, I am doing much better than Sharma ji ka beta or beti. She reduced her performance by minus 10 percentage. I have doubled my performance. I have increased my performance by 100 percentage. Got the point here? Definitely, chappal will come following after that. Getting the point here? Chappal will come from another disha. It will come from another disha. It is going to come. That is, there is no doubt about it. But observe very carefully. If my reference value with whatever I am comparing it with, if that value is very high, obviously what? It is going to create a situation where my final output will show what? Decline. But if my reference value itself is low, then it is going to show improvement. This is what generally happens in our country when it comes to when we say India's growth has increased. India's growth story is nothing but mostly India's GDP. When we calculate, we will generally see in the newspaper, again you're going to see GDP, India's GDP has increased. It is because of low base effect. Why low base effect? Because earlier the growth was less. Now the growth increased slightly. So it will suddenly show, wow, great growth. It is going to show what? Very great growth. When it comes to GDP, that is called low base effect. Low base effect means your reference value is very less. What is high base effect? High base effect means your reference value was high. And because of that, it is showing a decline. That means right now, if the inflation has decreased, it is because of what reason? Reason is simple. It is high base effect. That is, earlier the food prices were very high. Now it has come down. So automatically what will happen? From high level, it has come to low level. It is going to show less inflation. And why has it come down low? That is obviously another question. Why is it that it is coming down? Two reasons there. It is seasonal, not structural. It is seasonal, not structural. Getting the point here? So not seasonal means what? Sorry, it is seasonal means what? Seasonal means for some season what happens? There will be what? Increase in production. So when you have good supply is there, sometimes you have good supply. And whenever supply is more than demand, what will happen? Prices will decrease. Getting the point? No need, just understand this. Just listen to my explanation and understand the concept, because explanation is already given here. In detailed explanation, I have given it over here. I'm explaining the content to you. You just read the full history from here. So these are like what? These are like your gist, what you can remember. These are very layman's gist, which you can easily remember. All right, people. Okay. So, now, the seasonal, not structural. So, good supplies. Supply is more than the demand. Price will drop down. Okay. Always keep this in mind. Anywhere you supply more than the demand, price, the value will come down. Whatever is in demand will have high value. Keep this in mind always. That is, why is it that engineering has lost its value in the country? Too much of supply. Supply is much more than the demand. Why did your ex dump you and go? Because there also you supplied too much of love than she demanded. Keep it in mind. Similarly, On a relative note, if dollar is highly in demand, what will happen to rupees value? High level, if dollar is in demand, then what will happen to rupee value? Harvinder, it is not just that. Rolex watch, etc., are what you actually call, they are not your normal goods. They are luxury goods, given goods. Rolex watch, if I have 15 lakhs, 30 lakhs in my account, I cannot simply go and buy it. Getting the point here. So obviously, if dollar's demand is more, rupees demand will come down. In other words, rupee value will depreciate. Keep this thought in your head. Just keep it there. Dollar, when it goes up, rupee value will come down. Just keep it inside your head. You will be needing it in your current affairs. All right. Now, so understood seasonal here. Supply is more, demand will increase. Correct? Now, what is structural? Structural simply means, that is when I say this is seasonal, not structural, that is food prices. The food prices have reduced because it is structural, not, sorry, it is seasonal, not structural. Means it is not that I have improved transportation, storage, then the roadways. None of this I have improved. None of this I have improved. They are still the same. So whatever change you're seeing in the food prices, it is just temporary. Clear, people? Let us quickly see some data. Education and stationery, when you look at it, it increased by 4.4%. Healthcare hit a 15-month high in inflation. Personal care items increased by 14.8%. Soap, toothpaste, shampoo, and sanitary napkins. Then, food has a weight of 46% in the CPI. But what is, how much money do roughly an Indian, an average Indian, how much money do they spend? Yeah, you can note down the board work, Harvinder. It's just around 30%. I'm only spending 30% on food. But what is the weightage given for food in CPI? 46%. And who prepares this? This is actually prepared by Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. If food gets cheaper, CPI shows a big fall in inflation, even if everything else like healthcare, education, personal care is getting expensive. Getting the point here. Everything becoming expensive. Everything else becomes expensive. But if food prices drops, then CPI will say what? CPI also will drop. That is, it is not reflecting the true state of the economy. Correct, Archisha? All right. Coming to European Union, just on a parallel level, parallel note. So in India, if the main driver, people initially thought, okay, the main driver of inflation in India is food. But today's reality, that is not the case. There is not one single driver. There are multiple drivers for inflation. There is education, there is healthcare, there is personal care. Multiple things are there. But let us say in European Union, what drives inflation? In European Union, what is driving the inflation is housing price index. And to what extent? Today, it's more expensive for locals to live in European cities than for tourists to visit them. Because of tourism, housing prices have gone up. And because housing prices have gone up, it has actually pushed the inflation there in Europe. In other words, for inflation, any one sector, the prices picks up, it will push the inflation. It will increase the inflation. Getting the point here? We'll come to that. I have arranged the topic in a different way. Coming to the next topic, adolescent love. Very briefly, let me tell you what this case is about. So this case is about a guy and a girl. All right. Who fell in love. Okay. What is the big deal? Many have fell in love. The problem here is, this is especially to the boys out there. All right. To all the boys out there. This girl was less than 18 years and this guy was around 25. She eloped with the guy, got married, had a baby, a girl baby. And that is when trouble hit. What was the trouble? Mother of the girl filed a case. Mother of the girl filed a case. And this guy got arrested. On what charges? Statutory rape. That means if a girl is less than 18 years old, even if she has consensual sex with a guy, it is still considered as statutory rape. Because the idea is simple. Girl is less than 18 years old. She is not fully mentally matured to take a decision. She was exploited. Getting the point? You're right, Archisha. I agree with that. I did not want to give too much specifics into it. So, what happened? Guy was not aware of this rule. Girl also was not aware of this rule. You have a section called Prevention of Child Sexual Offences. POCSO. All right. POCSO, there is a rule. That is, if the law is very clear here. If a girl is less than 18, a guy has sex with her. That's the only condition, that it is less than 18. Period. You are going for what? You are going for 20 years in jail. End of the story. Getting the point here? It is as simple as that. Whether the girl loved the guy, this, nobody cares. The girl now she didn't know. This is obviously what? The father of her child, her husband. She started going from pillar to post. Because lower court told, see, we can't do anything. POCSO rule is very clear. We have strict instructions. The girl is less than 18. Gone. The guy will have to go to jail. We can't do anything. Case went to the High Court. High Court, now the interesting scenario, what happened is, the judge passed a comment. What was the comment? Girls should try to control their sexual urges. I don't know from which angle are we moving towards a progressive society. So basically, the judge told females should control their sexual urges. As if all the mistake, all the blame is as usual on the girl. Supreme Court and that whole thing, that judgment, everything became a matter of media discussion. Supreme Court took up the case suo moto. Supreme Court pulled the case up. They appointed a committee. To find out about the mental health of this female. Whether she was, like how the mother says, she was kidnapped and taken away. And then she was raped. And then after the rape, he married her. Whether that was the case. To understand what is her mental health state. And then what did the fact-finding committee find out? Fact-finding committee found out that the girl is obviously in love with the guy. And her biggest tension and biggest worry is, if the guy goes to jail, she has no way of bringing up her child. No way of bringing up her child. And she has suffered enough of mental trauma going from one, court to other court. She has spent a lot of money. She has gone into debt. That means if this guy is not released, then only her trauma will increase. Finally, Supreme Court came to a grand conclusion. Listen, just because this is for this particular case alone, we are going to give a verdict only for this case. Even though the conviction is correct. That is, the conviction under POCSO law is correct. That is, this guy, whatever he did is a clear violation of the law. But we are not going to give him the punishment. And this is only this we are only going to do for this particular case. Don't quote this case for other cases now. Getting the point here? Don't quote this case. This is just for this case we are bringing this verdict. But that didn't end there. Along with that, Supreme Court made a few more observations, which again we need to discuss a little. So, Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act, especially Section 6, aggravated penetrative sexual assault. That is the key word there. So obviously, she gave birth to a baby. That is the reason why that husband went into jail. Because obviously, penetration took place. That is how she got pregnant. What did Supreme Court reject here? Rejected the concept of non-exploitative sexual acts with a 14-year-old. Rejected this concept. What does this mean? Non-exploitative sexual act with a 14-year-old. As rightfully pointed out by one student here, at the time when this girl ran away, or eloped, is the right English word, eloped, E-L-O-P-E-D, eloped with this guy, she was only 14 years. So, there is a particular section in that which says non-exploitative sexual act. Non-exploitation means, let us say, a guy has sex with a 14-year-old girl. Let us say the guy is 18. He is in love with her. She is also in love with him. He is not trying to take advantage, nothing. They both are in love, but they had sex with each other. So within POCSO, there is one particular point here, non-exploitative sexual act. There is no exploitation here. Supreme Court is like, no, remove that. We are not going to accept this concept. Non-exploitative, no. Why? Why did Supreme Court reject this concept? Simple. Because multiple cases are there where girls have been raped by their classmates, neighbors, whatever. And what these finally rapists will tell is, listen, I will marry you. I'm ready to marry you. You take the case back. And more often than not, the girl's family will take the case back. They'll withdraw the case. Because they are basically thinking, okay, he's ready to marry, problem solved. Nobody is thinking, how will this female live with the person who has raped her? That nobody is concerned. They are like, okay, he raped, he's marrying you. Fine, problem solved. That is how they are thinking. Supreme Court is like, we cannot allow this. Next one. Older adolescents as a separate category. That also Supreme Court rejected. Older adolescents. That means adolescents generally we say teenage years. Again, even if the guy is also under 18, then obviously, okay, that is the next question, right? Many people have asked. If the guy is also less than 18 years, then first what will happen is he will be taken to a juvenile justice board, where they will decide whether he should be tried like an adult or whether he should be tried like a child. Because he's just 17 and a half years, let us say 17 and a half years. Basically, they will look into what is the nature of the crime. What is the crime committed? And if the crime, if it is rape, he will be tried like an adult. That means he will also get 20 years. Because of Section 6 under POCSO. This is how it will work. Getting the point here? Now, these concepts, older adolescents, that is like how you have pointed out now. If a guy is 18 or let us say 17, girl is also 17, both are studying in the same class. They decided to go fully, take the relationship to the next level. Ideally, you cannot call it as rape because the girl knows the guy, guy knows the girl, they are in love with each other. But what does the law say? Law is very clear. Penetration has happened. You're in for rape. You're in for rape. Still POCSO will apply. Exactly. Very good question, Ojasvi. If the girl, that is the question here is, let us say the crime occurred when she was just maybe 15 years. But she decides to complain about it maybe when she was 25 years. Then POCSO charges will apply. What if the guy is 17 and female is 22? Then POCSO case will be put on the female. As simple as that. POCSO case will be put on the female now because she had sex with a guy who was a child. Clear? Over these two concepts are recognized internationally, especially General Comment number 20 of the UN Committee on the Rights of the Child urges countries not to criminalize consensual sexual activity between adolescents close in age. That is basically, you're not going to punish those people, especially if, let us say, it is a very close age gap, 18 years, 14 years, etc. Definitely, we need to consider things if the gap is too much. 14-year-old girl and maybe 45-year-old uncle. Then we need to consider it. But if it is within that same age bracket, try to take a lenient stand. That is what even the international practice is. Now let us look at these cases. Part this case from being treated as precedent, calling it extraordinary. Got the point here? See, that depends from judicial judgment to judicial judgment. And again, depends on the case also. So most of the time, this, when it happens at a childhood, generally women take a lot of time to come out of the trauma, to come out in front of the world and actually say that, listen, I was actually raped when I was a child. So it is only on the basis of a case-by-case basis. Got the point here? Definitely. See, when a girl actually complains, that is the next point. When a girl actually complains that she was raped, the onus lies on the male to prove that he didn't rape. On the male it lies. Prima facie, yes, police will do a basic level investigation, a preliminary level of inquiry, etc. will be conducted just to ensure whether there is any merit. If they find even a 1% merit, means arrest is guaranteed of the guy. Arrest is guaranteed. I already answered that, Adarsh. Analyze 7,064 POCSO judgments in Assam, Maharashtra and West Bengal. Found 24.3% involved in romantic relationships. 82% of such cases, the victim refused to testify against the accused. That means almost close to 25% of POCSO cases, if you see, it was all what? Consensual. But, the interesting thing about the Hindu newspaper is the language that they say. 75% is what? Is rape. 75% is rape. 25% only comes under what? Consensual sex. Getting the point here? She can. A girl can still apply. That is, again, question is if a girl tries to take revenge. 16 or 17, she had a sexual relationship and she decides to complain when she is 18 or 19. Yes, she can. Now, what is your age doesn't matter. Your age at the time when you committed the crime, only that matters. Analyze 264 cases under section 25 involved in consensual relationship. Other judicial developments. Bombay High Court, Akash Wagmare versus State of Maharashtra, refused to quash a consensual adolescent relationship case. High Court refused. It was clearly proven in the court that it is a consensual relationship, but then nothing. Stated that any decriminalization should wait for government action, not just individual petitions. That is, action should come from the government. We cannot take a separate viewpoint for each individual case. The Supreme Court described this as a complete failure of the legal system, community and family support, child protection system, judicial mindset, and media behavior. The child marriage is something which is there, which is very rampant in our country even today, especially in many remote parts of the country. Even today, many adults, parents don't know that you're not supposed to marry off your daughter when she is less than 18 years old. Getting the point here? So many parents don't know. So they are in a rush to find a guy for the girl. So the guy for the girl. So the girl will feel, why should I go with a guy whom I don't know? Let me go with a guy whom I know or whom I am in love with. So that is all that they think. Why should I marry that uncle? Let me go with this guy here. But when they do that, they are not realizing POCSO will be applied. The POCSO Act's blanket criminalization of all adolescent sexual activity, even if consensual. This is an issue. That is, if it is happening between two consenting adults, then that not between two consulting teenagers. consensual sex is happening between two consenting teenagers, then POCSO shouldn't apply for it ideally. Ideally. But here the interesting scenario here is why this has to be taken seriously is again it goes back to the data what I told you in the last week. 98% of the rape that happens in the country, the victim knows their perpetrator. So mostly schoolgirls also, they are at a far more risk to be raped by their own classmates. So this law is really needed. You can never, it is very difficult to prove whether it was consensual or non-consensual because everything rests on the word given by the girl. The girl says it is a rape, it is a rape. The girl says no, it was not, then it was not. But case by case, you'll have to take it up. Coming to the next article, that is health. So in health, basically, what are we going to see? Again, first of all government departments have been asked to clearly display amount of oil, sugar, and trans fats in every snack. How much oil is there, how much of sugar is there, and trans fat is there. What is a trans fat? These are basically the oil, what is there, cooking oil, etc. That cooking oil, you will subject it to a process called hydrogenation, that is adding hydrogen. Why do you do that? Why do you add hydrogen to it? So that the oil become semi-solid or solid. Oil is there. Oil is there. You add hydrogen to it through a process called hydrogenation. And then what? Then this will make it solid or semi-solid. What? The oil. Oil becomes solid or semi-solid. After that, what do you use it for? Now you use it for as a preservative. For what and all? Cookies. Cookies will be there. Then cakes, anything that is fried in oil, all of that will come over here. Getting the point here? Now, what is the other issue with it? The other issue is this will easily lead to heart diseases. That trans fat, when you consume, when you keep eating more biscuits, more chocolates, more of all these processed food basically, not what is cooked, processed food, biscuits, chocolates, chips, cakes, everything, anything in the bakery. Any of these items when you take, you're actually taking in trans fat. It is almost like you're eating solid oil. And that actually goes and blocks basically, how does it affect your heart? My current affairs students will be remembering this diagram. Let us say this is your artery. Or blood vessel, sorry, not your artery, blood vessel. So this is a healthy blood vessel. But unfortunately, what happens is you slowly start getting deposits inside there. That is, imagine you're going at a nice speed in your car or your bike, 80 km per hour, etc. And then suddenly you will start finding gaddas in the road. And as you see those gaddas, you will slow down. You will try to slow as much as possible. Similarly, your blood flow, the velocity of blood decreases. Velocity of blood starts decreasing. As velocity starts decreasing, as per Bernoulli's theorem, you need not study the theorem and all, but understand this much. Bernoulli's theorem, basic concept is just this much. Pressure is inversely proportional to velocity. That means, in the case of our artery, or sorry, our blood vessel, if velocity of the blood decreases, what happens on the other side? pressure on heart increases. And as it keeps on increasing, you die. Oh, that is basically your cholesterol. All right. That is basically what you call cholesterol it is. You basically die. As simple as that. So basically, Ministry of Health issued an advisory to all the departments to give the details of all the snacks. How much oil is there, how much sugar is there, and how much trans fat is there. In a similar note, 2 months earlier, the CBSE had asked the schools to set up what boards? Sugar boards. Who asked? The CBSE, Central Board of Secondary Education. What will these boards contain? The boards will basically contain inform students about recommended daily sugar limits, how much sugar is in popular foods, the health risks from too much sugar, and suggest healthier alternatives. Getting the point here? High calories also can cause heart attack, definitely, because high calories means what happens, all those calories starts going and depositing around your waist area. So as it gets deposited further and further, what happens is you will find trouble sitting up, standing up, etc. Even while breathing also, sometimes you will find, oh, so difficult it is. Just by climbing 2 steps, you will find, oh, you'll huff and puff. Those are actual indicators that your heart is struggling to beat. Your heart is struggling to support your body. Let us look at the data here. Male obesity in India has increased from 15% to 24%. That means easily you can say 1/4 of the male population in the country is obese. What I call it as ever pregnant, never delivered. Female obesity rose from 12% to 23% in the same period. 12% to 23%. Females also it is increasing. Sagar, your idea about calories is totally wrong. Calories, you must understand, calorie it is all about how much you're intaking. Calorie intake. You're talking about gym here. So depends again what you're planning to do. Are you planning to go for a 6-pack? If your target is a 6-pack, you should go for a calorie deficit diet. And high protein. Along with weight training. What do you mean by calorie deficit? If your body needs 2000 calories, you only take 1500. So as to burn all the puppy fat around your belly area. And so that the abs starts becoming visible. Your only target is weight loss. Again, you go for a calorie deficit diet. You go for high protein and maybe do some basic level of movement. Jogging, running, not sitting, walking, all of that. Simple cardio exercises. You will still lose what? You will still lose your weight. You are consuming, like considering most of you are actually sitting and studying and will be busy munching because it is an online class also. You'll be busy munching this and that, etc. What naturally happens is your calorie intake is more than what you need on a daily basis, especially if you're not doing any work, physical work you're not doing, you're simply sitting. Morning breakfast, then snack, then lunch, then snack, evening, tea. So tea, coffee, etc. with sugar, with milk has high levels of calories. So all this when you do, automatically what happens? That extra calories, where it will go? Extra calories have no other place to go. It will always go and try to what? Settle in and around your waist area. And slowly, you will start developing a nice thick waist. Getting the point here? Packaged food still lacks clear warning labels on the front, unlike many countries. Unhealthy food is still marketed to children without any restriction. Food Safety and Standards Authority of India was supposed to, they have not done this, was supposed to set nutrition limits for packaged food, introduce front of the pack labels. That is, in front only you have to put up what? You have to put up what is, how much is the danger there when you consume it. In 2020, the FSSAI amended its labeling rules. On July 15, the Supreme Court ordered FSSAI to implement front of pack labels. The front only you should put up all the labels, all the nutrition information, etc. should be put up at the front. FSSAI AI has not yet defined the upper limits for sugar, salt, total fat. So if these three things are mentioned, let us say it is mentioned, what will happen? It is Tata bye-bye to Pepsi, Coca-Cola, everything. The entire cola company, the entire Pepsi company, all the chocolates, all the fast food, including your Maggi, Yippee noodles, whatever, everything goes into the gutter. Nothing you will be able to eat. As simple as that. See, the point is logic is very, very clear. Don't consume your food from any packet. Don't consume your food from any packet. If you are opening a packet and you're eating something out of it, understand something, you're in for trouble. You're in for big time trouble. Occasionally you had one cheat day, it won't affect. Daily, if you have little by little, you are in for big time trouble. Get it very clearly. Maggi, all of that. Why? Boost, Bonvita, even those are also not good for the health. They are also bad, equally bad. Until this is done, proper warning labels can't be introduced. A 2022 study found that warning labels were the most effective at helping people identify unhealthy food. Associated with the same concept, there is another issue, and that is a disease basically. It is called GERD, G-E-R-D. When expanded, you call it gastroesophageal reflux disease. All right, it is called gastroesophageal reflux disease. What does that mean? Simply put, this is the normal way. Normally, our stomach is supposed to look. All right, I agree with you, Sagar. That is, food will come, it enters. Can you see this joint here? So what happens is food is only supposed to enter. Food is only supposed to enter it. All right, ideally, only one way. But sometimes what happens is, in some people, this will be open. What happens? A reflux action will happen. That is, you get that feeling that whatever you ate is about to put out. Artistic Anvesha, it actually contains very high levels of sugar. You want your child to get addicted to sugar or chocolate from a very young age, give all these three. That is the point here. So this valve is opened here and everything starts coming back. So people who have this GERD, G-E-R-D, they'll experience chest burn. Because what is coming out of it is acid. Very strong acid, hydrochloric acid, which can actually melt iron. That strong acid it is. When a one drop falls on your skin, it'll burn. Then why is it that inside our stomach we don't feel any burning sensation? Because you have something here called stomach lining. So this valve gets opened, things will start coming ulta, reverse. You will get this vomiting sensation. You will feel you are getting a heart attack. It is not heart attack, it is just chest burn. Chest burn means these acid fumes are coming out and it is burning everything in the side. Now, what is the correlation? How does this open up? Two reasons again. Number one, this can happen during pregnancy, for women especially. What is the reason? Well, you have a baby inside. All right. In the initial 3 months, nothing much. But later, the baby grows in size. As the baby grows in size, your organs are squeezed and pushed. Everything gets pushed. So what happens is your stomach, which is supposed to be staying like this, fully expanded, it gets squeezed. It gets squeezed because of the push given by the baby. Now it is shrunk a little. This phenomenon will start. Got the point here? Next point. Who else will get it? People who are fat. Fat deposit is more. Automatically what happens is that fat also slowly will start putting pressure on your stomach, your diaphragm, everything. Again the same result. Burning sensation, everything. So how do you get to know? How do you prevent from going from this to this? I've already discussed this in my Saturday current affair class. That is basically first thing that you do is Check your urine. This is not there in this PDF. This is not there. This is me telling you. Check your urine's color. If it is anywhere between pale yellow to what? I wouldn't call it white. Pale yellow to maybe what? Totally colorless. That means your kidneys are happy. Your fat will get burnt easily. Simply by drinking water also you can reduce your fat percentage. It will take time. Paramanandam, Banod, Vivek Rathod. Fat will come down. Second thing, the color of your stool, that is your fecal matter. Sorry, not the color basically. When you wake up in the morning, within half an hour, you're not feeling like going to the toilet. Just by drinking one glass of water, within half an hour, you should get that sensation to go to the toilet. If you're not getting it, it simply means your intestines are in trouble. Your intestines are like clogged, like a pipeline. Like a pipeline in the bathroom which is blocked. Like that, your intestine is blocked. Because you were eating all the junk and the jamad. So if your stool is breaking up into pieces, or it is coming out too loose, it means better maximum another 10-15 years. Within that, you will go. You will get moksha. Stool should be basically continuous. Stool should be basically continuous. Two things. Number 3 is obviously what? You should sweat. Some amount of physical activity you should do where you sweat. These 3 things are in order means your body is fine. Anything that is not in order, obviously what will happen? You are in for trouble. I know, now people are like, chee, chachi. Yeah, as if you people don't do it. Clear? Now what are the symptoms here? You will experience heartburn. You will experience regurgitation, that is backwash of food or sore liquid into the throat. Chest pain. You will experience difficulty swallowing, which is basically what? Dysphagia. Dysphagia means this chest burn keeps on coming. What happens? Your entire food pipe, esophagus, will burn. And there you will find this roughness. So whenever you swallow something, you'll feel pain over here. Sensation of a lump in the throat. You will experience coughing. Because again, your lungs also will feel, your windpipe also will get irritated. Sore throat or hoarseness.
Very rough voice. Hi, how are you? Hey, why are you people laughing?
Like that. Nausea. Chakkar. You won't feel good. You will all, not chakkar, sorry. Nausea means you'll feel like vomiting. Bad breath. Because obviously, half digested food is coming out. So your mouth also will start stinking. Not necessary that it is because of what? Tooth decay or something. It is simply a case of GERD. G-E-R-D. The next topic associated with mental fatigue is a new study basically tells that when you do, it is one single task repeatedly over a period of time, you can develop easily what? Easily you will feel tiredness. So what is the solution that they say? They are telling that breaks are important. And so are rest periods. Just a note for all of you, whoever are preparing for civil service. Pure data-based. Very important data, let us check out. That is a city like Delhi. What is the awareness of people when it comes to cybercrime? Observe. 700 crore lost by Delhi residents due to cybercrime in 2024. The law basically says that inspectors should investigate it, but obviously staffing is insufficient. There are not many cops out there who can actually deal with cybercrime. 90% of Delhi residents are aware of common cyber frauds. However, only 61% are aware of newer scams like digital arrest. In spite of all these warnings, people are not aware of this. 93% know they can report cybercrime. Then various statistics again. See, all the statistics, is it necessary that you should remember? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Pick and choose whatever you're able to remember fast. Clear, people? Confidence in government action. 25% feel government action is not at all effective. Cyber safety practices. Less common practices are regularly changing passwords. 50%. Excuse me. Okay. Using antivirus. 50%. That means only 50% of Delhi's population regularly change their password. And using of antivirus, again, you see, only 50% uses it. Many are not even aware of it. Antivirus use is very high among the high income people, 73%. Among low income, it is just 20%. Two-factor authentication. Among high income, it is 75, low income, 31%. That means here also, even in terms of protecting your digital data, there also we are seeing what? A sense of inequality. Getting the point here? That will happen, Anshika. Whatever you're demanding, that will happen. Because, like I told you earlier, the IT bill is going to be introduced. Once the income tax bill is going to be introduced, it is game over. Game over means authorities can basically barge into anybody's email, etc. And the other part, how do we control this? How do we stop these fake people? That idea also, we are coming to that topic. Hold on for some more time. Then, financial loss is 58%. Mental stress is 26%. Amount that has been lost. %70 believe they are never going to get their amount back. 21% of the victims only reported what? Cyber crimes. That means reporting is still less. Once it happens, generally people don't go to the police station to report it. Therefore, in Delhi, it is not at all surprising that 700 crores were lost from Delhi in just a single year. And that is not at all a small amount, people. Institutional trust gap is wider among low-income respondents. That is, low-income respondents, they don't actually trust any of the institutions. All right. Now, question is, how can we stop this? In European Union, there is a idea for it. And what is that idea? That idea is, now if I want to go online, I have to access government websites and I want to access private websites, Instagram, Facebook, etc. Europe I am talking about. Europe, you will have a digital identity. A digital identity. Digital identity is something like you have a number. Using that number, you can access government website, private website. One single number to access all the websites and private websites. So if you are going to do any wrongdoing with it, it can be caught. Plain and simple. They are going to make it functional in Europe. All right. In India, how are we going to do it? Remember last week I told you, Aadhaar has been allowed by the Supreme Court to put your name. That is, if I want to put my name in the electoral list, if I have an Aadhaar card, that is more than sufficient. Correct? I am going to make Aadhaar the number. That is, henceforth, when I am going to access government website or private website, I have to enter the Aadhaar number there. If it is a fake Aadhaar, system won't take it. If it is a genuine Aadhaar, system is going to take it. End of the story. So no more fake phone calls, no more fake messages, emails, nothing. Even if you are going to access a porn website, even that will become evident. Government authorities can sit and watch it. Because why government authorities can sit and watch it? Income tax bill 2025. If government authorities can watch your social media account, can access your email, don't you think they will be even sitting and watching what and all you're watching in OTT, what and all you're watching in a pornographic website? This is the point here. It is not for any higher authorities. Even an inspector, an investigative officer can look into it. That is the clause there. Clear? Once it is gone, it is gone. It will happen. It will all happen. This is, see, if anybody today tells me, will this all work out in India? Come on, is it even possible? Well, let us not forget our dear P. Chidambaram. Chidambaram had given that very famous speech. How will the poor lady, 2 rupees for a tomato, how will that poor lady make the payment? Does she know what is a POS machine? Can she take a credit card? Can she take a debit card? This is such a foolish idea. I think I'm not sure whether they use the word foolish, but this is such a bad idea. He has said this inside the parliament. Today we are making payments using just UPI. So how long do you think it will take to implement all this? Aadhaar, already you are having more than 98% of the population in the country has Aadhaar. Genuine Aadhaar. Fake ones, leave it aside. Genuine Aadhaar is there with 98%. How long do you think it will take? We are moving into complete digital surveillance. Get it from me. Complete digital surveillance. Clear, people? GM maize, genetically modified maize. Name is important. So who has to give, who is responsible for appraisal? Genetic Engineering Appraisal Committee is India's main regulatory body for GM crops, approved the trials with consent from the Punjab government. That is, in Punjab Agricultural University, they are going to conduct the field trial. Field trial of what? Field trial of genetically modified crops, genetically modified maize. That they are going to do. All right, what is genetically modified? Genetically modified simply means natural setting, you're not going to see this. See, leave that. Karnataka shopkeeper. See, all these are just part of the small news these are. Telling you, na, it is only temporary. Karnataka, 1 or 2 shopkeeper. Now, when I went to travel to Kerala also, one of the auto drivers said, no, I don't have UPI payment. It is only a matter of time. I told this in one of my classes also. In my polity class, I have told this. So, 2000 rupees has been taken out. What remains now is the new 500, the new 200, the new 100, the new 50, the new 20, correct? Wait and watch. 500 will be taken out, 200 will be taken out, 100 will be taken out, 50 will be taken out. And eventually 20 also will taken out. We will go into complete digital currency. Take it from me. When it will happen, I'm not exactly sure, but we are moving in that direction. Once internet connectivity is established all over the country, more than 90% is established. All the banks and RBI are all connected 100% with the internet. Everywhere internet is there, 90% at least is there. We will move into digital currency. As simple as that. Get it straight. Now, let us look at this article. So it is happening in Punjab Agricultural University. These trials are proposed by the Bayer Group, Bayer Crop Science Limited, a company. What are the 2 crops there? Getting the point here. What are the 2 types of crops? One is a herbicide-tolerant transgenic maize, which actually has glyphosate K salt, which is a type of herbicide. Sorry, 1 minute. This type of maize has been genetically altered to withstand the application of glyphosate K salt. K salt means potassium salt, a type of herbicide. The other one is insect-resistant transgenic maize. All right. Finally, so to do a trial, you have to do what? You have to actually put up where? Even after demonetization, amount of currency increased. Absolutely wrong, storyteller. The number of digital transactions have actually gone up by 86%. The fact that the government went on to demonetize or withdraw the circulation of 2000 rupees in the market and there was no uproar. Nobody protested. Nobody came on the road. Nothing. Why? Everybody had moved on to UPI. That is the main reason. And today again, I'm telling you, how many of you are actually having 500 rupees notes with you? Very few. Slowly, that will also come out. People will take, that also will be taken out. It's a matter of time. Just wait and watch. So insect resistant transgenic means it is engineered to protect itself from specific lepidopteran pests. All right. Okay, we have some bekar faltu pada raha hai. Interesting. Coming to who is giving the permission to conduct field trial. That is, I made something in the laboratory, a maze which you won't find in natural setting. I took it up and then I am putting it where? I am putting it in a field. Who has to give permission for that? Genetic Engineering Appraisal Committee. In the field I tried, every result is fantastic. But from there it is taken. All right. From there it is taken. And I want to cultivate it commercially. If I want to cultivate it commercially, I need the approval from central government. Central government it is. Got the point here? If I want to do field trial, who should give me permission? GEAC. If I want to cultivate it commercially, large scale, to give all the farmers, come on, all my farmers, lelo, lelo. If I want to do that, who has to give the permission for it? Central government. Keep this in mind. Clear? These are, so next two articles is all about two schemes. And this scheme is Anusandhan National Research Foundation, Prime Minister professorships to utilize the expertise of retired scientists for funding scientific research and to strengthen R&D culture in less endowed state universities. Who is the funding body here? Anusandhan National Research Foundation, which has subsumed means it has absorbed Science and Engineering Research Board. Annual fellowship 30 lakh, research grant 24 lakh, overhead cost 1 lakh per year. Retired or superannuated scientists and faculty from reputed Indian academic institutions, research laboratories and private institutions will be targeted. Retired or superannuated, more than 60. Overseas scientists including non-resident Indians, persons of Indian origin and overseas citizens of India, even they will be covered under this. That is the highlight of this. This is the main highlight. All right, then general points. Then the model used in this, it is basically called the hub and spoke model. What do you mean by hub and spoke model? Hub and spoke model simply means, listen people, understand one thing. There are many chomus out there. People who are frustrated in their life, people who have no better work, people who find happiness by insulting others. कुत्ता अगर भौंकेगा तो इसका मतलब नहीं सूरज अपना काम नहीं करेगा. Getting the point here? भौंकने वालों को भौंकने दो, अपना काम से ही मतलब रखो. जब तक सामने नहीं आता है और मुक्का मारने की कोशिश ना कर रहा है, तू अपना काम में ध्यान रख. English version. Just because dogs are barking, sun doesn't stop rising. Sun does its work. Let the dogs keep barking. Until and unless they come in front of you and they're about to throw a punch, till then, don't even give your response. Getting the point here? Anyway, hub and spoke model. So what is the hub and spoke model here? Hub and spoke model simply means just like there will be a hub, just like a wheel, and there will be spokes. That means there will be a main university at the center. And this university will help other small universities with what? With research. Getting the point here? It will help in research there. So, which are the spoke institutions? That is, which will come at the end. They are category A universities like state universities, select central universities, NITs and Indian Institute of Information Technology, NIT, IIT. The answer to your question is, it cannot be taxed for the simple reason that 86% of the farmers in our country are small and marginal. It is only 14% that you can call as rich. That 14% what you call as rich also, they are sometimes seasonally poor. So it's only a very small percentage that is what you call as rich. So you cannot bring taxation there. As simple as that. Which are the hub institutions? Notice it again. Institutions that are ranked 25 or below in the National Institutional Ranking Framework, NIRF. So if it is below 25 ranking, then you become the hub and you will support the others, even if it is an IIT, even if it is an NIT, and even if it is maybe a central university or a state university. Clear? Agriculture, again a scheme only, strictly important from prelims perspective. Indian government has launched a new program called Prime Minister Dhanya Krishi Yojana. Main goal of PMDDKY is to improve agricultural output and encourage farmers to adopt eco-friendly farming methods. It will receive a budget of 24,000 crore for 6 years, starting from the financial year 25-26. Another important point is what? Combines 36 existing schemes from 11 different government ministries. Attitude is developed not individually, it is developed from multiple sources, even from Superstar's interview. To all my Tamil friends out there, kill them with your success, bury them with your smile. The government expects it to help 1.7 crore farmers. So what is the main thing here? 36 farmer schemes has been pushed into this one single scheme. What is the money? 24,000 crore. How many years? 6 years, starting from 25-26. If you actually notice, it is all a number of 6 years, 24,000 crore, 36 schemes. All are multiples of 6. Anirban, very good question. What type of question can come from there? See, what I showed you in that research, that is actually a solution. That is actually a solution how to increase, how to encourage research. So whatever I gave there as data there, you will give it in your conclusion side, way forward. How to encourage, what are the problems? Maybe, why is it that Indian defense is struggling so much? Why are we not able to manufacture here? Why are we still dependent on imports? Basic funda, no research and development. Very poor research and development compared to China. Government sector is leading in research and development compared to private sector. Every other part of the world, private sector takes the lead, not government. Government only contributes little, but in India it is the ulta. Government is have to put money for research and development, which obviously will take time. Hindustan Aeronautics Limited took more than 30 years just to manufacture one light combat aircraft. 30 years. Getting the point here. That is how inefficient we are. So until and unless we encourage R&D, nothing else will happen. So what to do? What is the solution? Whatever I gave there, that is one solution you give. You don't have to write the whole thing there. Remember the name of the scheme at least. How much money has been allocated for it? Done. Clear? Then again, general points. Improving storage, improving irrigation, general. Just go through it. And again, the program will initially target how many districts? 100 districts. These numbers matters a lot. Numbers matters a lot because numbers why easily what you need? Easily you need it what? In your prelims. If you don't remember the number, it becomes very difficult. I don't know, maybe some Chandramukhi issue is there. Yes, Pallavi. Correct. See, more than budget now, what we need is private sector to come up. But for private sector to come up, lot of rules have to be changed. Lot of rules have to be changed. You should give a free hand to the private sector. But that doesn't happen in our country. Umbrella scheme means just like an umbrella. One chhatri for all the purposes. So this scheme is enough. For all the farm related schemes, this one scheme is enough. Removal of judge. Just the process and the procedure. So the process is pretty simple. If you want to remove a judge, first a notice has to be served. For the removal of a judge requires a minimum of 100 signatures in the Lok Sabha or 50 in the Rajya Sabha. 50 in Rajya Sabha, 100 in Lok Sabha. That is minimum number of members required. And when you do that, so I got a notice. 100 members signed in Lok Sabha. I'm the speaker. I can still reject it. No, I am not going to remove Justice Verma. No way. I can do that. Chairman also can do that. Just because 100 members came in Lok Sabha or 50 members came in Rajya Sabha doesn't mean this will be accepted immediately. Getting the point here? The motion can either be accepted or rejected by the speaker or the chairman. But here, that didn't happen. It was accepted. Afterwards, what will happen? A committee to examine charges will be constituted jointly by the Lok Sabha speaker and the Rajya Sabha chairman. You'll put up a committee there to inquire. Who will consist in the committee? A senior judge of the Supreme Court, a sitting Chief Justice of the High Court, and a distinguished jurist. Jurist means somebody who is well aware of the law, an expert in law. This scheme will benefit inclusive growth. What about small and marginal farmers? Even them, because the highlight of that scheme is we are going to target which 100 districts that have low agricultural productivity, low cropping intensity, meaning less land is farmed multiple times a year and low credit disbursement to farmers. You'll target the lowest first, not the best. Anshika, hope that is clear now. Sai Kumar Deshavadu, it's not possible in our country of impeachment. Sai Kumar, the thing is, even if that process starts, let us say they're going to go ahead with that process. Justice Verma can simply avoid all of that by simply doing what? Resign. End of the story. Purpose of removal, impeachment is what? To remove. He resigned means that ends the point. That ends the thing. Will an FIR be charged against him? Will he be thrown in jail? Nothing. Just removal. If in your or my home, we found, let us say, some 2,000 rupees notes are found today, we will be arrested, we will be taken to the police station, then the ED will come, then the income tax department will come, then other people will come, that will come. We will become on media, our address, our horoscope, everything will be splashed in the media. Getting the point here? This is how things work over in our country. That is another discussion altogether. Let us not get into that. This is what I was talking about, regulating social media by European Commission. This is what I mentioned, European Digital Identity Wallet. That is, in Europe, basically, they are going to put a minimum age for using social media. They are going to do that. European Commission is developing an age verification app as part of its Digital Services Act. They are going to put this thing. What is it? A guideline. Beyond a certain age, you cannot use it. And what is the basic principle and what? Just like the European Digital Identity Wallet. Means that identity wallet will verify all my details. So once I put my wallet number, that means not directly Aadhaar number. Say for example, we also have a concept, something similar like DigiLocker, if you remember. So let us say DigiLocker wallet is created, which has already verified, all right, your date of birth, your Aadhaar, where you are sitting, all that it has already verified. This DigiLocker wallet will have another number, XXXX, which you will use in all apps, all government websites. So the apps will only get access to this. They won't get to know your date of birth or your Aadhaar. Getting the point here? They won't get to know your date of birth or Aadhaar. Government also won't get to know. But if they want to find out, they can do it. Got the point here? I seriously don't know what is wrong with this mic today. I am not asking you to write anything in your note. Already this is in the note format. Read it, go through it, understand it, familiarize yourself with it. That is what I am requesting you to do. Denmark, Greece, Spain, France, and Italy are among the first countries to work with the Commission to launch their national age verification app. It also mentions incorporating zero knowledge proof. When I'm going left side, it is happening. Oh. All right. Yeah. Now, point here is what do you mean by zero knowledge proof? Zero knowledge proof simply means, like I told you here, my date of birth or my Aadhaar details, that is already verified by this DigiLocker wallet. All right, it is already verified and it has this number, this unique number. And that number only will be used by the app or the government websites to basically what? Verify it. Getting the point? Howda Rohit avare? Sari aitu. So, zero knowledge, 1 minute. Yeah, zero knowledge proof means, so they know that my date of birth and Aadhaar is already verified. That is why I'm having this XXX number. But with be it this app here, be it the government website here, they cannot access these two. Government can access it if they feel that you're doing something illegal. Then they can access. But otherwise, no. Getting the point here? Next. Now, who has expressed an issue with it? ILO. Generally agreeing on child protection, companies like ILO, owner of Pornhub, disagree on the implementation. Obviously, maximum number of people who will actually watch porn websites, they are of which age? Teenage age. Generally, teenagers will be obviously having high level of porn addiction. Proven fact. So, they will lose their customer base. So, they are like, no, this is violation of privacy. This is very, very bad. All right. Coming to India's nuclear power. The nuclear power, what is our target, what we need to do, etc. It is mentioned in the article. I will just tell two incidents. Why nuclear power lagged in our country? Getting the point. Why it lagged? Reason is pretty simple. 1974, we went and conducted Smiling Buddha nuclear tests. After this test was conducted, basically, an international group was formed called Nuclear Suppliers Group, in which India is not a member. India is not a member to this. So what should India do to become a member? If India wants to become a member, then the first criteria is India should sign NPT. What is NPT? Non-Proliferation Treaty. Non-Proliferation Treaty means I will not use my nuclear capabilities to develop more and more nuclear weapons. That is the condition, which India is like, sorry, we will have to develop. On the other side, we have our Kujili neighbor, Pakistan. Sorry, we will develop it. So we are not ready to sign this. Because we are not ready to sign this, we are not a member of this. As a result of this, what happens? It takes time. It will take considerable amount of time to access technology. Second issue, again, like somebody has mentioned it very clearly, we don't have uranium sources. Uranium, when I say we don't have nuclear uranium, that we don't have. Very, very low quantities we have. Third and most important reason, it is completely government dominated. You have very less private players. Private players, if you want to bring it, you will have to change the rule only. Got the point here? So we have been struggling to get the technology. These are the main reasons. Apart from this, what other issue is there? There is something called as civil liability for nuclear damages. A law it is. Okay. This is the law. It is relevant in India. So let us say USA supplied nuclear material to us. Okay. India is the operator. Okay. In case some damage occurs, inside India, in any one of the nuclear reactor, a damage occurred. Then what will happen? Pak has 170 nuclear bombs, but half of the bombs won't fly off. Another half will probably land on that comedian Shehbaz Sharif's head. Then whatever little bit is remaining will fall probably into Arabian Sea. If they so much as put their finger on the nuclear button, it is game over for Pakistan. It is as simple as that. Coming back, if a damage happens, we know, okay, India will have to take responsibility. Correct? India will have to take. It is understood because it is operating in our country. But the civil liability nuclear damage, what is that law basically telling? Whoever has supplied it, even they are responsible to pay for any damages that occurs because of a nuclear incident. Got the point here? That is the ultimate thing. Clear, people? So this law also needs to be changed. Now, what is the focus area here? Focus area is basically to develop. This is your large conventional reactor. That is basically what you see, Kudankulam power plant, etc. Nuclear power plant. You will have big power plants like this. Focus is now to develop small modular reactors. Small modular reactors means this will probably give electricity for one city. One small city and all, it can easily power. The next stage of it is micro reactor. Micro reactor, as you can see in the image, you can use it even to what? Maybe power a large truck, very large ones. For transportation purposes, whatever we use, that one. Getting the point here? I have already answered this. Weekly current affairs along with monthly current affair compilation. This is the future. This is what we are currently focusing on. The rest of it, it is just plain data. Please go through it. All right. India's per capita electricity consumption in 2022 was 1208 kilowatt hour. China's is 4600 kilowatt hour. So if you are planning to become a big country, overtake China and all, one of the first essential condition is to ensure what? We have sufficient electricity. And for that, one of our target again is 100 gigawatt of electricity to be generated from nuclear power. All right. Coming to the next topic. Nuclear watchdog. Nuclear watchdog is basically your International Atomic Energy Agency. They basically look who is violating nuclear laws. That is their purpose there. True. But small scale, the problem is bacteria, etc. Temperature regulated these things are. Slightly temperature increases or drops, bacteria will die. That is the end of your electricity generation. Nuclear power, even though installation cost is high, there is a lot of environmental risk when it comes to, after how to discard the fuel or how to bury the fuel, etc. The used nuclear fuel, many risks are there. But the advantage is once you start it, once you have a functioning nuclear reactor for 30 years, you don't have to worry. And zero emissions. That is the biggest advantage. Hopefully, I will be teaching. Again, mic issue. Bihar has become very close by BM. Why, sir, Bihar is going to do this? Anshika, simple, right? Bihar, see, when you look at the HDI factors, it actually, what you see, the values are very less. Literacy rate is low, income is low, health wise also it is low. So, automatically, what is the only next thing to do? First thing, you ensure basic level infrastructure first, proper electricity, proper road, etc. But yeah, in Bihar, again, as reported in the media, people steal roads, people steal railway tracks also. So it'll take some time, but this is a positive step. This is a positive step that you're bringing in some sort of development there, so that especially you need it by rural migration from Bihar to other states can be reduced. All right. What is this beetle fungi alliance? Can anybody tell me what is xylem? What happened to your aloo ka paratha? Don't have aloo. Don't have too much aloo in your diet. Not at all good. What is xylem? No thoughts. Nothing political we are going to entertain. Symbiotic association, I'll agree with that. But what is xylem? Water transportation, agreed. It's a plant issue for transportation of food or water, decide. So basically, it is basically used for transportation, food or water, whatever it is. Okay, xylem is there. So let us say this is a rubber tree. Now you have this gentleman here. This is a beetle. And basically its name is Ambrosia beetle with a scientific name Euplatypus parallelus. Why it is called Ambrosia? Because it actually carries with it the Ambrosia fungi. These beetles are not actually native to India. They are actually native to Central and South America, which were first reported in cashew trees in Ponda, Goa in 2012. While they typically attack dead or infected trees, they are also known to target stress trees. So how does they work here? This beetle actually carries a fungi of the Ambrosia family. Then it will come. It will actually make a small tunnel in this. It will go there and settle there. It will drop the fungus there. Fungus will start eating into the plant, eating into it. And it will start getting nourishment. After it becomes well nourished, etc., beetle will go and eat it. So fungus, it is obviously it will multiply. Water is present easily, moisture is there, it will easily, fungus will rapidly multiply. And because it is drilling a hole here, boring a hole here, normal pesticide or insecticide is not going to work, because once they enter here, they can go and sit anywhere. They can go and sit anywhere. This is the fundamental issue that is being faced by the farmers of Kerala who are having rubber plantations. Got the point here? All right. So basically, what is it? And it affects, so why xylem? So it easily goes and makes this hole, and it even cuts into that xylem. So imagine this is a main, what is it? Important tissue in a plant which is used for transportation of water. Now this is no more there. This is cut here thanks to this beetle. Then fungus is there. It will start eating into the whole plant from inside. From inside it will start. It'll start losing leaves. It'll start losing its color. It'll slowly lose its charm, everything. It'll dry up inside out because water is not available. It'll start drying up. Getting the point here? Plant will lose it. Treating these infections is challenging because the fungi reside deep within the plant's xylem vessels, where insecticide or fungicides often cannot reach. Fusarium species can spread through soil or be carried by insect vectors. Fusarium means it is the name of the fungus. Rest, please read it from the article. Coming to our last or the penultimate section, which is basically one-liners and data. Very quickly, US has added TRF to the terror list. Just a simple, nothing great about it, I will tell you. Because today it is TRF. Tomorrow they will make it some what is it, vomiting sounding name. Like that, they will make some new organization. Taiba, Mujahideen, whatever. That they will make it over here. So this is just cosmetic, nothing great about it. Nothing, many are calling it a diplomatic victory and all, nothing. TRF will simply change their name. That's it. EU imposes sanction on refinery based out of Gujarat for using Russian crude oil. We will have to wait this one out. To establish misuse, government creates Supreme Court of Karnataka in X platform. That is, government to prove that X platform, you can actually use it to create fake accounts. Government created a fake account. And what was that account in X? Supreme Court of Karnataka. And from there, they were actually what? Sending in feeds, that is tweeting, basically. Got the point here? Labor force participation. Right. This one I will give you as homework. What do you mean by labor force participation rate? The number of criminal cases registered under the Protection of Civil Rights Act 1955 for offences related to untouchability has seen a decline, with pendency in courts remaining about 97% and nearly all disposed cases resulting in acquittals. Means what? 97% of the cases reported under untouchability, they are pending in court. 97%. And majority of them will result in acquittal. That means you will go. In other words, atrocities against lower caste will continue, especially SC, ST. This data you need in your GS1 mains paper. Ministry of Commerce through its departments like DGFT, Directorate General of Foreign Trade, and DGTR, Directorate General of Trade Remedies, is actively monitoring and restricting import surges. Import surges means, surge means rise, increase. And dumping caused by unfair trade practices, coordinating with other ministries to protect domestic industries. Dumping means, what do you dump? Pendency means it is pending there. No decision. Trial is yet to start. Raja Durga V. Alright. It is yet to start. What do you mean by dumping? Dumping simply means that is there is a product manufactured in China for 200 rupees. Manufacturing price in China is 200 rupees. China is selling it in India for 150 rupees. Purposefully selling it at a lower cost here. Why? Because, let us say, maybe earbuds. Okay, earbuds. AirPods. Manufacturing cost in China is 200, but China is purposefully selling it in India for what, 150. What is the reason? In domestic manufacturers, Indian companies are selling AirPods at 175 rupees. So to destroy them, purposefully selling the product at a lower price. Getting the point here? Purposefully selling it at lower price. That is dumping. When you sell a product purposefully to destroy the local market at a lesser price, then you call it dumping. I told you already, don't waste your time on losers. Don't waste, because energy is a reality. You spend energy with positive people, you attract positivity. You spend energy on negative people, It will happen, negativity will happen. Another saying, never fight with pigs. PIGS. Why? Because the more you fight with pigs, you will realize you are getting dirty while the pig is enjoying it. Remember that too. Don't lower your standards, people. Maintain high standards. National E-Vidhan application. This is also for my public administration students. National E-Vidhan application means whatever happens inside a parliament, whatever happens inside a state legislative assembly, everything will be what? Everything will be digital. That is how many MPs came, how many MPLAs came, how many, can I say white laundry? Why white laundry, Rashmi Yadav? How many MPs came, how many MLAs came, what questions were asked, how many bills are presented, all these you take. Everything will be what? Digitally it will be recorded. And all that data will be available for National E-Vidhan application. Example for digital governance. I told you people, we are all moving in that direction. Everything will be digital governance. Clear? Trade. Data only. India recently overtook China to become the largest importer of Russian crude oil. All right, then a few data for it. Just go through it only. Now, overall trade deficit shrank by almost 10% due to impressive service export growth. That is simple logic. We know our imports are always higher than our exports. Correct? Most of the time. Exceptions are there. This is called a trade deficit. Why deficit? Because we pay more dollars than what we earn. Now, why has trade deficit decreased? Why has it decreased? It's because of our service exports. Service exports means what will come under it? Our IT services, tourism, health, all of this will come under it. It is not unnecessary. See, European Union is planning to put up an age limit for social media means. Understand, that is the new reality. What's your take on beef export of India? What is my take? Good for the government, good for the people, whoever are exporting it. Good money. Simple. And if you say, but beef export, go mata, it is pap and all. Try going and telling this in Northeast. It is not going to work. Northeast, they even consume dog meat. Don't say, dog, how can you eat dog? It is a delicacy there. It's a delicacy. Apparently very tasty too. Women-related data keeps popping up. And I told you, 14 questions came from this topic for GS paper 1. How much of a data you collect, all the more better. How many cases? 2022, more than 4,45,000 cases of crimes against women. Increase of 4% than 2021. In this, cruelty by husband or his relatives constitutes more than 30%. Understand that very, very clearly. When people say men are unsafe in this country, we need equal laws, etc. Not at all true. Not at all true. This is the reality. Clear? Cruelty by husband or his relatives. See, Anshika, crude oil's discovery below Maharashtra or the discovery of lithium maybe in Karnataka as well as in UP. Resource is there. But the point is whether commercial extraction is possible. Commercial extraction, that is after investing so much money, I extract the crude oil or the lithium, then I sell it. Will I make at least some profit in it? If I'm not able to make profit, whatever lithium is there, crude oil is there, beta, tu wahi ke wahi reh ja. Koi zarurat nahi hai. You be there only. I'm not going to touch you. Clear? Assault on women with intent to outrage or modesty, 18.7%. Rape constitutes 7.1%. Southern states, it is actually the state of Karnataka that is actually little dangerous for women among the southern states. Northern states, if you're taking, you can put a line all the way from Rajasthan, UP, Madhya Pradesh, parts of Gujarat, Bihar, West Bengal, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Odisha, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand. All this will come under it. All right. Again, enrollment data. In private schools, if you see, they are only enrolled. Only 33% of women are enrolled in private schools. Girls are enrolled only 33%. Because there is no preference. It is just that we'll marry her off. Anyway, she is going to get married off, right? Even unfortunately today, the priority when it comes to a girl child is marriage. That is the ultimate priority. It is not education. It is not employment. It is not even her financial independence. Until and unless we don't prioritize this, these things will continue to happen. Now, when I told you that things are not looking so great in northern and western states, check out the data. In northern and western states, the share of girls enrolled in any school is lower than this national average. What is the national average? 48.1%. That means if there are 100 girls in a district, in a state in North India, in that, less than 48 girls only will be put in school. Less than 48. Just a news article. Karnataka government planning to bring new law to fight the Devadasi system. You know what is Devadasi? Devadasi is somebody who works in temples, somebody who dances for the god in temples. Ideally, it is supposed to be considered to be a very pious, very religious thing. But what has happened during centuries is, even to date is, these Devadasis, they are exploited sexually by especially the temple priests or men from the upper caste. They give, these girls or these women end up giving birth to children who don't get any rights. Any rights in property, nothing. So finally, the Karnataka government is planning to bring a change to the old Devadasi law, which was made last 40 years ago, more than 40 years ago, 1982. They are planning to bring a change to it, where paternity test can be used to find out who is the father, and they will also get inheritance rights. They are planning to bring such a law. Fact of the matter is, even in this 21st century, when we are telling Vishwaguru, superpower, where are we standing today? Power, again, data associated with it. What is the total electric power? Non-fossil fuel. These type of data, please by heart it. That is non-fossil fuel share, if you see, in installed capacity, 50%. All right, current. Then clean energy share in electricity supplied below 30%. Coal share in India's energy mix approximately 75%. Main data. Dharmasthala is a totally different scenario. Dharmasthala, you won't believe it, that is actually a religious place. Again, a place where people go to visit the deity, Shiva there. I think it was very recently, maybe 10 years ago or hardly 15 years ago, that they had their first police station. Can you believe it? In a place where these many worshippers go. You had the first police station just 10 or 15 years ago. 10 or 15 years ago. Till then, no law, no cops. Total lawlessness was existing there. If I say also, it won't be an exaggeration. Total lawlessness. Got the point here. And understand one thing, don't either give credit to the BJP nor blame the Congress. Everybody are equally responsible. What power and empathy. See, you are showing empathy to the world when you're not showing empathy to the women in your household. What Vishwaguru are we talking about here? Getting the point here. Which source? These source. This is all from the newspaper, man. Man-animal conflict, that is increased level of man-animal conflict is happening in Chandrapur district of Maharashtra, especially because the number of tigers have increased. All right, you will get it in my channel as well as, okay. Around 44. In 2025, we abstained from voting in the UN Security Council on important issues. We abstained from voting. Abstain from voting means I did not say yes, I did not vote no. I did not vote only. That is what you call abstain. To vote means what? Either I should say yes or I should say no. Abstain from voting means no, I'm not going to vote. In 2025, it was the highest increase ever, 44%. I don't have any inspiration, people. Next thing is sewer deaths and safety. Remember that data what I told you. 97% cases are pending with regard to the untouchability. Link it again with this. Sewer deaths. 49 out of 54 deaths examined. Workers wore no safety equipment. And who are these workers generally? Workers are generally from the lower caste. SC, ST. No consent was taken from workers in 27 cases. Then what is the scheme? Scheme basically to solve this issue is Namaste scheme. Namaste scheme comes under which ministry? Social Justice Ministry. World Bank report towards resilient and prosperous cities in India prepared in collaboration with Ministry of House and Urban Affairs. These report names are very, very, very important from prelims perspective towards resilient and prosperous cities. All right, in India. Now, what is it? Indian cities are projected to generate 70% of new jobs by 2030. Urban population is expected to double by 2050 to 951 million. More than 144 million new homes will be needed by 2070. Intense heat waves and urban heat island effects are already causing city center temperatures to rise by over 3 to 4 degrees compared to surrounding areas. What do you mean by urban heat island? Idea is very simple. Let us say this is the top view of a city. In the good old days, what used to happen was you used to have a lot of greenery. And many cities even used to have small rivers, etc., flowing through it, water bodies. All right. But over a period of time, what started happening? People started making constructions everywhere, buildings, land encroachment, etc., etc. That is, even if you take us, that is, basically, if you want to find out wherever in a city you will find water clogging, water after a rain, immediately water fills up the space. You go back a little, 50 years ago, if you go back, if you take the old map, you will find that point where water is flooding, below that, there used to be a river. People dumped all garbage, then they put slowly mud on top of it, then they put cement on top of it, then they put a road on top of it, then they started constructing buildings. So what happens is now you are having only buildings. Where rivers used to be there, greenery used to be there, you're only having what? You're only having tarred roads. Roads, everywhere roads. So two things here. Basically, first of all, no soil. If it rains, water should go down. No option. So it will flood immediately. Number two, everything is building, right? made out of concrete, made out of cement, the road, tar, all of this will absorb heat. Throughout the day, they will absorb heat. Nighttime, when the sun sets, what happens? They'll start radiating the heat. So what happens is, if you're staying inside the building, especially in nighttime, you will start feeling the heat inside. Not that in the morning you won't face it. In the morning also you will find it. But here, that by night it will start heating up. Especially in cities like Delhi, you will experience this. Bangalore, not so much, because Bangalore is the only city in India which stands at a certain height. That is, I think, 3,000 feet above the sea level. So Bangalore is more like a hill station, if you ask me. Right now also it is pretty cold here in Bangalore. You will have to explain some light jacket. Getting the point here? That is, buildings are there, road is there, color of tar is black. Black tar, which will again what? Black color absorbs heat. Building made out of steel, cement, everything. They will also absorb heat. By the night time, they'll start letting this heat out. Because throughout the day, they were heating it up. Now the sun has set. They'll start letting out this heat. When it starts letting out the heat, what happens? The temperatures will be easily 40 degrees Celsius. What is human body temperature? Let us say 35. 35 degrees Celsius, human body temperature. Heat always flows from region of high temperature to low temperature. Correct? From high temperature to low temperature only heat will flow. So the air is already 40 degrees Celsius. Heat starts moving towards your body. You feel very uncomfortable. If it is in Chennai, you will start sweating. If it is in Delhi, you will not sweat, but you will start getting dehydrated internally, which is more dangerous because you will never realize that you're losing water. Ultimately, you will faint and fall. If it is in Delhi, Hyderabad, Bangalore, sometimes, not always. When only on some days this temperature issue will be there. Otherwise, not normally. Clear? Karnataka drops land acquisition. This is public administration optional. Very quickly to only the public administration students here. Karnataka drops land acquisition near Bengaluru after 1198. A farmer. Public opinion, Woodrow Wilson. Link it with that. Bihar police to create database on Supari killers active in state. Clear case of digital governance. Like I told you, Bihar police is going to create. You would have all seen that video. Hired killers entered into an ICU and shot at somebody. Now they are going to create a database for it. Expert weigh in as Delhi High Court calls for SOP over needless FSL referrals. FSL is forensic. That is, call the forensic department only when you need them. Don't simply call them. Because calling them every now and then has led to what? Huge pendency. This is a classic example of what? Conflict within organization. CAG report flags lapses amounting to 573 crore in railways. This is strictly from your chapter, which I'll be taking. For some people, I have already taken it also. Finance, financial auditing. You need to quote. PSU dividends to center almost doubled since 2020. That means PSUs are doing really well. And especially, which are the ones really doing well? They are Coal India Limited, Oil and Natural Gas Corporation, Indian Oil Corporation, Bharat Petroleum Corporation, and GAIL, Gas Authority of India Limited, which contributed to more than 1.27 lakh crore. This is the rough graph here. 39,558, 59,293, 59,548, 63,749, 74,017. That means in a span of 4 years, dividend almost doubled. This much at least you try to remember. Enough. This is necessary for your next chapter. I mean, paper 2, this is third chapter, public sector unit. NIRF to award institutions negative scores for retracting from journals. That is, if you steal your research from somewhere and later you are like, oh, sorry, I stole it. Let me take it back. If you are going to do that, NIRF will give you negative score. That means punishment. Today only we studied this. This you can link with Chester Bernard, CB. Kerala Vigilance grills officer of ED Kochi unit in bribery case. That is, it is a classic case of conflict that may arise between the state versus center. Because vigilance department comes under Kerala government, ED comes under center. And with that, we come to an end of our discussion, people. Any questions? Graph, you will get it. Don't worry, you will get it. I am in class and how to start UPSC preparation. Please grab a cricket bat and ball and go play. People understand life is beyond UPSC. You need the experiences. You need experiences in your life. It is not that you will sit in one band kamara, subah se lekar sham tak, padai, and then you will go and give an exam. You will clear it and you will come out. How are you going? You should learn to deal with people. You're going to deal with people here. You'll be meeting hundreds and thousands of people in a single day. So you need experiences in your life. Create experiences, create memories. Sai Kumar Deshavatu. Hope you're happy now. Negative and positive score. Positive score means when you put good research, when you improve the quality of your institution, NIRF will give you good ranking or good rating. Otherwise, if your research material, etc., is copied from somewhere and you pull out your research material later because you submitted your journal, later you retracted it. Retract means to pull it back. NIRF will give you negative marking. Panot Vivek Rathod. From your name, it is pretty much clear you are not a Malayali. Don't take this effort to put something in Google, then translate it. I am not actually somebody. Malayalam, I don't get excited. I am like, okay, Malayalam, that's it. 1 minute. Bye, bahut garmi hai idhar. Thank you so much. I'm not building consistency in these preparations. I am a Malayali, but I'm bad with English. What will I do? Anshida, just keep speaking the language. So I will tell you how I started. When I started out also, let me be very honest. Blood, right? This is blood. First time I read this word, I pronounced it as blood. Blood, I pronounced it. Because I never knew it. I was reading that word for the first time. Many people made fun of me. Even after that also, they made fun. So after a point, you will develop thick rhinoceros skin. You are like, you make fun, I will speak. Simple. See, why it is unsafe means generally in the ancient India, that was not the case. From the Vedic age onwards or from the later Vedic age onwards only, women was seen as a burden. Women is being looked down as a burden. For everything, money was attached with it. That is, you should do sati. If this happens, you should do sati practice, or maybe if not sati practice, basically you have to give dowry, this, that, etc. All that started from there. Very few people are not changing it. And again, when you talk about change also, most men are not ready, right? How many of you can easily say that I'm not going to take a single rupee from the girl's family? How many of you will say it? And how many of your parents will allow you to do it? How many of you will stop your parents from it? Chances are less. Ravi, I cannot share my official email ID. We are not allowed to do so. Just tell me the question number and which set it is. Enough. What should I write for answer writing if I'm reading any book for the first time? Answer writing is not based on any book. Answer writing should be based on PYQs. Artistic Anvesha. Anvesha, the first thing to do to develop discipline is basically take care of yourself. When I say take care of yourself, wake up at a decent hour, 6 a.m. Not because you want to study or anything, just wake up. Maybe you wake up and start watching some web series. I don't care. But do that for 21 days. Drink water, 2 liters, starting. Then slowly push it to 3. Exercise, half an hour. Eat everything, every meal on time. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. All on time. This much you do first. Slowly, when you are able to do all this for 21 days, it becomes a habit. Repeat it for another 21 days, it becomes a part of your personality. Once you're able to do this, then you will do anything. You need not go back. Current affairs will get repeated. Don't worry. Mr. Kamal Chowdhury, it is not necessary that you should go back and all. From wherever you have started, from there. आप जिधर से शुरू किया है, वहीं से ही line भी शुरू होता है. So, continue like that only. Should I quit gym or keep doing it? Keep doing it, Ashish. Why you want to quit? In a strong body, only a strong mind will reside. As simple as that. How much hours required? See, please don't ask me all this hour ka thing. We are not talking about taking the doggy out for a walk for 15 minutes, 1 hour. No. Just studying. There's no hard and fast rule. The point is, are you doing qualitative study? Do we have to read reference book end of listening to class or parallel to listening classes? You should ask that concerned faculty. Monthly current affair analysis, let us see. If it is really necessary, only I will do it. Because otherwise, it is too hectic. Let us see. Because I am not having the time right now, to be very honest. Click administration, less score. If you are not interested in that subject, you will score very less in Papa. What is ED? Sriram Jayam. ED is Enforcement Directorate. Comes under Ministry of Finance. Then what is the next question? Under which authority it is running? Ministry of Finance. Is it central government? Yes, it is central government. IRS officers are part of it. Again, depends upon which optional it is, from where you are taking your coaching, or are you doing self-study. Came back from work at 7 o'clock. It is fine. Wake up early in the morning. If you are going to work at 10 a.m. in the morning, wake up early. 5 a.m. you need to wake up. Try waking up at 4 a.m. and spend 2-3 hours. Evening also spend another 2-3 hours. What? Use the morning hours to study. Use the evening hours to revise. You will be doing things very slowly only, but it is enough. Basic things, Ankit. One magazine you refer. One monthly magazine you refer. PW if you are referring, good, well and good. I am JE aspirant. Please give me some suggestion. What will I give you? Practice the PYQs. Look at which chapters, from which chapters maximum questions have come in the last 5 years. Focus on those areas. You will also be knowing what are your weak areas. Target those weak areas, solve it. Take care of your weaknesses. Your strong areas, they will take care by themselves. You're welcome, Ram Kishore. Yeah, you can use yearly compilation. You can visit my Telegram channel, people, for the notes, as well as in the description here. Link will be provided in the description below. There also you can do it. Glad to know that, Sujay. Yeah, Ravi, you can send it there. Waking up at 2 a.m. is not at all a good option, Mr. Raj, whatever it is, because 12 to 4, you should be sleeping. Not 12 to 4, ideally. That 11 to 4 o'clock time, 11 to 4, you should be sleeping. Waking up at 4 is fine. If you are waking up at 2, then the point is you should have gone to sleep at least by 7:30. Then you should have had your dinner at 6 p.m. स्टडी का बहुत प्रेशर है 10th में. अरे बेटा, तो प्रेशर अभी देखा नहीं है. शादी होने दे, प्रेशर का सही मतलब समझ में आएगा तभी. ये तो कुछ भी नहीं है. Some say read like a novel. See, Neve N, reading reference books. Before reading any reference book of any subject, first go through the PYQ. Previous year questions. Find out which topics have been asked the most. Study those topics first. Then go for whatever else is there. See, obviously reading the newspaper helps you a lot, but you don't have the time or luxury for it. Level of analysis or connection, what I am doing, it has happened because of a experience which is coming from 14 years. 14 years as an aspirant. I mean, I still treat myself as an aspirant only. I prepare as if I'm going to give the exam. But I'm 38 years old. I cannot give the exam anymore. I am teaching since 2014. That means 11 years. So from that it comes. You don't require that level. Already making it easy for you. How to connect it, where to use the data. I am giving it for you. You just need to find out, okay, this data, where I can use. Because trust me, whatever articles I'm putting up over here, directly or indirectly, question has come in PYQs. So please follow that. No, it is not difficult to clear UPSC if you are a visually impaired candidate. मेंस को स्ट्रॉन्ग करने के लिए कीप राइटिंग आंसर्स. एनडीए सजेशन. एनडीए के लिए व्हाट मैटर्स इज योर एसएसबी इंटरव्यू. वो इंटरव्यू में व्हाट एंड ऑल स्टेजेस आर देयर, उसकी तैयारी करो आप. Abhijit, NDA's current affairs are not exactly what you find over here. The current affairs, especially what you attend in prelims, etc. But yes, for GD, group discussion, etc., you need to speak with facts. With facts, you should speak. So there you can use whatever I am using it here. Because generally, let me tell you, I take a pro-government stand only, not a pro-BJP stand. Pro-government it is. There is a difference between the two. I'm not a very big supporter of BJP, but I have no other choice but to support my government. Be it the government in center, be it the government in Kerala, be it the government in Karnataka. Because these are all elected by the people. So I have to respect that. So always I will take a pro-government stand only. I will not criticize the government. Because ultimately you are all going to work for the government. Clear? Whatever works for you, Nikki Chowdhury. CLAT also says same thing. Ayush Pandey, go through the syllabus, find out the PYQs, everything. CDS, NDA, same thing, people, same thing. Whichever exam, JEE, NEET, CDS, CLAT, NDA, whatever, 5 years question paper, analyze them. You have your answer, how to prepare. Anvesha, even IB also the same thing. Go through the question paper. Motivation story. I don't watch cricket. No, I stopped watching cricket ever since Sachin retired. So PABAD is optional and MA at IGNOU. 8 hours class. There is no solution. You're taken up MA, you will have college also. College work, then classes, everything will be there. It will be hectic. You will jhelna padega, to put it in Hindi. Yeah, people, it is good enough. You need not concise the current affairs of whole year. Yearly compilation will come of the academy. You can take it up. 12th, how much time you need to spend? You need to spend as much time in necessary to get a good percentage. There is no motivation story, Guru Raj. Be the hero of your own life. Like I will just end this whole thing by one last dialogue from my side. Life will give you 1,000 reasons to think, sing. That is life. Everybody around you. Sometimes even your family, your own parents, your sisters, brothers, everybody. Your cousins, your uncle, auntie, everybody will be standing around you and giving you a music. Tandani nani tani nano tane nane no. If the entire world is singing, "Are bichara, dekho iska kya hal ho gaya," you should at that time sing inside your mind, "Dhira, dhira, 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 is sultana." Until and unless you don't feel that you are the lion, you are the king, you are the hero of your own story, nobody else is going to do that. Love yourself first, respect yourself first. Don't wait for the world to do that. Only if you love yourself, you respect yourself, everything else will follow. Take care, people. Good night.